In this tutorial, we are going to see how to change a normal PDF file into a fillable PDF form using PDF Escape. We are also going to see other useful features that PDF Escape offers in its free version. Stick around and let me know if you learned something new. Start by opening your browser and go to pdfescape.com. To make things easier for you, I'll share the link in the description below. You will see two different options: a free online version here on the left and a paid option for your desktop here on the right. If you scroll down, you will be able to compare both versions and all they have to offer, but for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll be using the free version, which is the one on the left, so let's go back up and click on it. After choosing the free version, you'll be given these four options: create a new PDF document, upload PDF to PDF Escape, load PDF from internet, and load PDF previously opened. There's also some information down here on size restrictions. I've never had problem with file size, but if your file is too big, you can always split your PDF into different parts, edit them separately, and merge them back again. So let's go back to the options. My PDF is in my laptop, so the option I need is the second one, upload PDF to PDF Escape. Let's click it. Now, there's two options. You can click on the Choose File button to go and navigate your computer to get your file, or you can drag the file back here. This is the form I have chosen for this tutorial because I need most of the features PDF Escape has to offer to complete it. So it will give you a nice overview of what you can get done with this free tool. And as you can see on the left panel, here on the left side, my PDF has two pages, page 1 and page 2. The second one is actually blank. I'm going to delete it later. Let's take a quick look at the most important features that we have on the screen right now. At the top, we have here, do you see these? We have a few options that will come in handy when we are working on the document. Let's start by clicking on Fit. This Fit button will fit the page to the screen. You can play around with these buttons to see what happens. We can zoom it out or in. You can also select text if you drag this icon here, and you can click on the hand icon to enable the scroll mode. Now, notice that these two buttons here, both of these, they will enable this yellow ribbon here at the top. This ribbon shows you which of the features you have enabled and which of the features you are trying to use. This ribbon will be very useful in a bit, and to disable it, you just have to click on it. You will see that disabling it will be very important when you are working in the document. Now, if you click on this little eye here, this window will pop up and you can add or change your document information. You can add a title. You can add the author's name. Mine is already there. You can also add a subject and some keywords and click OK. You don't really have to complete those fields. You can just leave the default options. This locket here gives you the chance to protect your document with the password. If this is important for the project you are working on, you just have to start by checking the encrypt box, and then you have to type in a password and confirm your password. Click OK. If you want to change the restrictions, just click on the lock icon again and add a new password. Or go back to the lock again and leave it all blank if you want to remove the restrictions completely, which is what I'm going to do because this is not exactly a very important document. Let's move our focus to the preview panel now, which is this bar here on the left side. You can see all the pages of the document I uploaded here, and at the top of the panel you see 3 tabs: the Insert tab, the Annotate tab, and the Page tab. Let's start by clicking on the Page tab. This is where you find tools to control each of your pages. You can move or drag your page within the document. As you can see here, this is the selected page, page 1. If you want to move it to the second position, you hit select and there you go. And if you want to move this one back to its place, you can hit move again and click on the number you want it to be in. So the next key you have here is delete, and you can delete a page from your file. So this is the selected page now. I'm just going to hit delete because it's a blank page and I don't really need it. You can also rotate your page. Let me just fit the document to the page so that you can see what's going on. So you can rotate it to the left and keep on rotating it, okay? And you can rotate it to the right and so on. You can also append a document to your PDF file and you can crop it. To crop your page, you have to select the part you want to crop and keep by clicking and dragging. Let's say I want to keep this part here and get rid of the rest. So I'll just click at the top, drag my box, leave it. You can actually specify some numbers here, click OK, and this is the part we would keep. Let's undo this now. As you can see, there is a new key here, the undo key. You can do this or you can use your keyboard short keys like Control-Z. I'm going to hit this one now. Okay. Let's click on this button here to see the other options we have. There's a new feature down here, the Deskew feature. The Deskew feature might come in handy too when you are working with scanned documents because it lets us rotate the pages and straighten them. My file is not skewed, but I'm going to show you what the skewed file is so that you can see what this key lets you do. So you imagine you get a file like this. This happens a lot when people are working with scanned files. So before you are working on it, maybe you want to straighten it and get the layout right. So this is what the Deskew button will do. But my document wasn't skewed in the first place, so let me just go back. The last button, the Restore All button, will let you undo all the changes you've made to your pages. I just want to add something else about the Page tab, this tab here where we are at right now. When you are working on a document with multiple pages, you have to remember that you have to start by selecting the page from the preview panel here on the left, and you can only work on one page at a time. Well, that's it for the Page tab. Let's move to the Annotate tab, the one in the middle. Let's click more to see all the options we have here. This tab is especially useful if you want to send messages or add feedback by adding notes to the text. All these buttons here enable you to use a different type of annotation or note. You can add a sticky note. I'll explain this one later because I'm going to use it in my file. And you can also highlight some text. You can insert a remark in the middle of a sentence or between two sections. It's also possible to strike out some words or sentences. And you can underline text. And you can use shapes too to mark some parts within a page. You have a rectangle here and an oval shape. Before you do your next project, I suggest you take your time to explore all these options here. They are not relevant for this tutorial though, so I'm going to move on. And now it's time for us to go to the first tab, the Insert tab. This is the tab you will need the most when you are creating a fillable PDF file. These buttons here, all of these buttons, they show you all the tools that you are able to use in your document. Let's click on More to display them all. So you can add text, you can white out parts of your page, you can insert an image, you can use the freehand tool to draw or write freely, you can add a link, insert fillable form fields, draw a line, an arrow, a rectangle, a circle, or even add a check mark. Now I'm going to click on the most important button. This is it, the Form Field button. When you click on the Form Field button, there are multiple options to choose from. They are all here in this drop-down list, and what you can do with them is what we're going to see now. So I'm going back to my form. Let me just cancel this. I'm going to fit my document to the page. This is enough for me to work on it. This is a normal text field, so I'll just click on the Form Fill tool. And since I want a text field, I'll just leave the default option. Do you see it? We have all of these, but I will keep this one because it's the one I want, and hit select. Once you hit select, you can click on the spot where you want your box to begin and just drag. Notice that this form field here on the left is still highlighted. So whenever you click outside your first green box, you will be adding new text boxes. This might get in the way sometimes, especially if you are using PDF Escape for the first time. Believe me, it will make you waste your time because you will have to delete unnecessary boxes. I'll just undo these for now. But let me show you how to stop this from happening. It's actually quite easy. If you disable the Form Field button, you know it's enabled now because it's orange and because it's here, okay? This yellow ribbon shows you that the button is also enabled. So if you disable the Form Field button, you will no longer have boxes popping up all the time. There are two ways for you to disable the Form Field button. You can right-click on it, and as you can see, the light is gone. Let me light it up again. Or you can click on the yellow ribbon, and this time it would be a left click. So right click here or left click on the yellow ribbon. As you can see, the button is no longer highlighted, and this gives you the chance to focus on your green box. The box is ready to use, but you can format the settings on the text that you are going to see in the box. In order to do that, right-click with your mouse on the box and select the next option, which is Object Properties. When the Object Properties window pops up, you will have multiple options to edit. You can name your shape, or you can leave this default name here. I'm just going to leave it. You can enable it for printing. You can set it up as a read-only file. You can make it visible. You can show it as a required field. And you can also allow multiple lines, add a password to protect your document, set a max limit to the number of characters people can type in the box. And you can always use this COM field here, which will break your box into separate segments for entering a set number of characters, such as a social security number, for example. You can check the Do Not Scroll option here, and you can also align your text within the box, and you have three options: left, center, or right. I'm just going to keep it like this for now. And there's another option in the box, which is the rotation. So you can rotate your text in the box. The box I'm working on right now is a name field, so let's name it. You don't really have to, though. You can just leave the default name that pops up with the window. I'll leave the print and the visible options check, and I will also add this option, multi-line, and I'll leave the 0 on the max length, which actually means that there's no limit, and I will keep the alignment left. Click OK. Now let's see what we've got so far. I'm going to type in my name. But let's imagine that my name is much longer than the box, and let's see what happens. I'm just going to copy paste it. I know that most people are used to short names, but in Portugal, that's where I'm from, by the way, we have to be prepared for multi-line names. I don't know if that's a thing in other countries. I wonder how many names you have. Well, here's what we get if we check the multi-line box in the object properties. As you can see, you have these little arrows here on the right. But you don't have to increase the size of the box for this. This is very useful when you want to keep the layout of your form. Let me just delete all of this. I'm not completely satisfied with this box though. Now I want to edit the text. Double-click inside the box to keep it active. Go to the top of your page and format the text as you see fit. So you have here some options to change your text. I'm okay with the font. I'm okay with the font size. You can check or uncheck the bold option, the same with italic, and you can change the color of your text. I'm going to pick some blue. Yeah, I like this one. When you have an active box, you will have these two icons here. You can delete the box, and you can also go to the property box here and change whatever it is you need to change. Let me just hit OK because I don't need to change those now. If you want to align this text with a field name, you can also click once on the box and then you drag it to wherever it is you feel is best. Maybe if we zoom it here, the aligning will be easier. Yeah, it's easier like this. Let's fit it again. Once you're done with the editing, you can duplicate your box. To do so, right-click over the box and hit Duplicate. Duplicating boxes will save you lots of time because it will duplicate the settings so that you don't have to waste time doing it all over again. Although my next field is much smaller, this box is still useful for me. So I'm just going to click and drag it and resize it. So I can go to the property icon now. I can name it. This is the day box, so I can keep it like that. I will uncheck the multi-line options and I will add 2-character maximum length because it's a day. You don't need more than 2 characters. And I will also select center down here in the alignment. And I will hit OK. For the month field, I will just duplicate the day box, click and drag it to its spot. And to the year field, I will duplicate the month box and I will click and drag it to its spot. I will actually go to the properties box and add a 4-character maximum length. And OK. The next field on my form is the address. I want to keep the exact same settings that I have used in the name box, so that's the one I'm going to duplicate. So right click, hit duplicate, and click and drag. I'm going to resize it to I will duplicate it for the city too. I will duplicate it for the zip code. I will resize this one though, because I have two different fields in the same line. And I will duplicate this one to use for the country field. And I will resize it. I will keep all the settings. And I've just changed my mind about this continuous black line here. But I don't really want to go to my original file and lose everything that I've done so far. So I'll use the whiteout tool from the Insert tab, which lets us add a white box and cover something up. So let's go to the whiteout tool, and what it does is you can just draw a white box here and it will actually cover wherever it is you don't want to see. So problem solved. You can also use the whiteout tool to create different layers of opacity. Let me give you an example. Let's go over to the top of the page. Let's go over to the title of the document. Imagine you want to make the word student slightly lighter than the rest of the words. You can draw a white box, a whiteout box over the word. It doesn't really need to be perfect because you will not see the box. And then you right-click over the box, go to Object Properties, and set a different opacity. So if you choose 50%, for example, you will see it's much lighter. I actually like to see it like this, so I think I'm going to keep it. Let's scroll down now. Phone, email, nationality, first language. These are all fields that I can duplicate without putting much time into them. So let's do that now. So hit duplicate, drag and resize. Hit duplicate again, drag and resize, hit duplicate again, go down here, resize your box, and hit duplicate again, go to the right and resize your box. Let's scroll down now. So which languages are you interested in? This is my next field, and as you can see, I have 3 options. And I want the person who's going to complete this form to be able to choose 1 or 2 or all of them. And this is something new. It's still something from the form field. So let's go and click on the form field button. This time I want to select the checkbox option from the drop-down list. Hit select. Now I'm going to click on the spot where I want my checkbox to appear, and I'm going to resize it. Before duplicating the checkbox, let's review the settings, and all you can do to the box, go to the object properties at the top. Again, you can give it a title. You can keep the print and the visible check marks on, okay? And then you can use a different check type. So let's see the options we have here. So you can choose a check, which is the one you have now there. You can choose a circle. You can see how it looks like. You can also go back to the toolbox. You can also choose a cross, and this is what it would look like. You can also choose a diamond, and there it is. You can also choose a square, and look, it's a square, and you can actually center this. You can also choose a star, and there you go. It's a star, but I don't really want these last options. I'm going back to my first option, which is the check mark. Okay, hit OK. Let me try it. So am I happy with these settings? Well, I'm not just yet. I want to change the color of the symbol and stick to the blue I have used before. So I'm going here. Notice the box is selected, okay? I'm going here and I'm going to pick the blue option. I don't think I like it that much, so I'm going back to the box and now I'm going to pick a green color. Yeah, I like this one much better for this type of option now. Okay, now I'm happy with the shape. So I'm going to right click and duplicate and drag it to the other spots where I want to see it. Okay, I have to resize this a bit. Okay. Check, check, check. The next question is in my form is, have you completed any course at Joanna's Classroom? And as you can see, I have two options, yes or no, but I don't have any boxes like I had in the previous question. So let's try a new option from the form field. So click form field, go there and choose radio. Select, and let's see what radio does. So radio, or these little, it doesn't have to be that big. Okay, this is not the only shape you have. So you can resize and drag it just like any other box in your form. And what else can you do? Well, I want to use green for this one. Now I'm going to hit duplicate and I'm going to drag it here. But I want red for the negative answer. Okay. So we have a green yes and a red no. You can also change the symbol in your radio button. Just select one of the buttons here, okay, and to change the symbol, go to the object properties, and as you can see, have another drop down list. The one that's active, the one I've chosen, is the circle, but you can choose a check mark too, just like we did before. Let's see what happens. You can also, let me go back, you can choose a cross just like you did before. You can choose a diamond again inside a box, and you can choose a square or a star. I'm going back to the checkbox though, so that we can compare this one and the previous one. Actually, there are two differences between the checkbox tool, which is the one I have used up here, and the radio button, which is the one that I have down here. First, the radio button comes with a box around the symbol you choose. Another difference, and probably the most important one, is that the radio button only allows the user to choose one of the options given. In this case, either a yes or a no. Let me go back to my round radio button because it's the one I want to keep. So let's choose the circle, and that's it. So no red, yes green. This is the one I want to keep. Down here I have this box, and I want to use a different tool from the form field, and I'm going to click here and choose text paragraph this time. Hit select, click on the spot where I want my box to begin, and drag it all the way to the end. So, well, the name says it all. You can add a paragraph here or multi-lines. It's actually not that different from the name, but you can also change the settings in this box. So if you go to the tool button up there, you will see that print is enabled, visible to, multi-line to. When it's a paragraph, this one is always checked. And I don't need a password. I don't want a max length. And I don't really need to change any of these, so I will just hit OK. I'm just going to check the text format, and I'm okay with the font, with the size. This one too. I'm not okay with the color though, so I have to go back to my blue. Otherwise, as you can see, it saves the last color you have here, so I do not want red for this box. I want to go back to the second blue that I had chosen before. Let me check if it is working. Yeah, this is good. Again, if you think the size is too small, you just go there and pick another size. But I don't really want this to be big. I want to keep it small. Okay, 12 is enough. I want to show you something else. Let's add some words to our text and make it longer than the box to see what happens. Okay, as you can see, when the text is longer than the box, you will automatically see this scroll up and down bar, which is quite useful again if you don't want to change the format of your form. Let me just delete all this because we don't really need it here. Let's move down to the last field of my form, and I want the student to be able to choose a single course, but I don't want to change the layout of my form. And as you can see, I don't have much space left, so I'm just going to choose another different option from the form field. The best option for me now is a tool that we haven't inserted yet, so I'm going back to the form field. Choose drop down, hit select, click and drag. This is not complete yet. If you click on the arrow, nothing happens because you need to go to the properties and add your drop down list here. And now I'm going to choose the languages I work with. So I will type English, German, and Portuguese and hit OK. If you go back to the arrow, you will see your 3 options there. Let me go back to the Insert tab and check all the options that we haven't used yet. Starting from the bottom up, we have a check mark. I'm going to click to give it a try, but as you can see, this is a different check mark. It's not a filled form like this one here. It's not something that you can remove, so I don't really need it right now. Let me just delete it. You can draw shapes. Here's a rectangle. You can draw a circle or an oval shape. You can draw lines and arrows, and you can also use the freehand tool to write freely. These are all editable shapes or boxes or tools. So if you click on one of them, most things you can do will appear here at the top. So for example, if it is a shape, you can change the border. You can actually delete the border or change the border thickness. You can also choose the border color and change it. Or if you choose this option here, that means removing the border. You can also use a different fill for your box, and the same for these here. Again, there's no border here, but you do have the line width, so you can make it thicker or you can make it thinner. The same for the arrow, okay? Thicker and thinner, and again, you can change the color too, and any of these shapes that you use are editable. All of them also have some properties, mostly opacity, so this might come in handy if you want to create your own buttons, for example. Let me just hit OK, and I'm going to undo all of this because I don't want to keep these shapes here. Let me unclick this one too. Let's see another tool from the Insert tab, the Image tool. You can also insert an image. I'm going to insert my logo at the top of the page. So let me scroll up and I'm going to click on the Image button. I'm going to upload it from my computer. Here it is. Let's click it. And now I'm going to click on the spot where I want my picture to start, and I'm going to drag all the way. And it will resize automatically, but you can change it, of course. You can make it smaller, you can adjust whatever settings you see fit. There's another button here in the Insert tab that might be useful for your projects, which is the link button. If you have a website or a page on social media, you can also add a link to your form. To add a link, you have to click the link button. Go to the spot where you want your link to be active and draw a box. This box will not appear on the file, it just appears now for you. So this is the place where I want to see the box active. When you finish dragging it, this pop-up box will appear and you have two options. It will give you the options for your link. So you can choose a URL or a page from the document. I cannot choose a page now because my document only has one page, but I can type in my website and you can actually check it out. So it's, let me write the aspect there. So it's joannasclassroom.com. I will hit OK, and now the link is there. We can check all this after we finish the file. Let me move to another option in the Insert tab, which is the text option. If you click on the text button, you will be able to insert text in your file. I'm going to type something down here to find a different ending for my document. I want it to be black. And I'm going to write something like, see you in class. Well, let me center this. Okay, I think it's good to go now. And again, this is just plain text. It's not a fillable form field. As I've mentioned before, I want to use a sticky note, so I'm going to click on the Annotate tab again, which is the one in the middle, and I'm going to click on the sticky note. I'm going back to the bottom of my page now, and I'm going to click on the spot where I want my sticky note to appear. I can always move it though, just click on it and move it around, but this is the spot I want to see it in. Then we can type in our annotation inside this box. My annotation is, don't dare to skip it. Let me drag the annotation box here. Okay, this is a good spot for it. And now I'm going to click this minus symbol here, and when you click it, the box will close. It will still be there. Whenever you click on the sticky note, you will still be able to see the annotation or comment that you wrote. You can add some information to the sticky note. You hit the tool icon, you can add your name or the name of the author, you can give it a subject, and you can lock it. If you lock it, this means the annotation will always be visible, but if you open pop-up, this means you will be able to hide it and you will only be able to see it if you click the sticky note. Let me disable this. We're almost done now. But because this is a form, I want to add an extra feature to it. You can go to the top of the page again, to this ribbon here, and I'm going to click here on the settings, and as you can see, we have 4 options, and one of them is show next field button, and this is what I want to do. Okay, so I'm going to click here because, okay, let me show you what this does. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up for you to see. This will guide those who are completing the file through all the fillable fields, and hopefully this will prevent some fields from being left blank. Let me show what this does. So I'm here, I'm going to type my name, and as you can see, I have the next button showing here. So I'm going to hit next, and now I'm being guided to the next field and so on, so that I don't forget anything. Well, this is what it does. I'm going to delete this for now because I want to save my file in a bit. I think I have a masterpiece PDF fillable form now, and I want to save it. To save your project, click on the green arrows that you see here on the left panel, and it will download the file into your computer. You can choose the place where you want to keep it. You can also open a free account online and keep your documents there. Let's see the end result now to check if everything is working like I want to, or if it still needs some adjustments. Let's try it. So let's try it. Now my PDF file form is opened in a normal PDF reader. And as you can see, the link to my website is here and all the fields are active. Let me just write some numbers here to check all the boxes. Checking before sending any file is quite important. Let me just type some X's here and there. Okay, everything seems to be working just fine. The boxes, tick on, tick off, tick on, tick off, tick on, tick off, and all can be selected at the same time. Let's tick them off again. The radio button, yes or no, you can choose one of them. And then the name of the course. Let me just check if the scroll bar is available. Whoa, this is a big box. Well, there it is. So scrolling is also working. Let me delete all this. And last option here, the drop-down list also working. And my sticky note is also there. Okay, well, this is all I have learned so far about creating fillable PDF forms on PDF Escape. I'm happy now. I hope you're happy too. See you in class.